Good evening, friends and family. How are you? I'm all over the place. I'm sorry. This video may get very I might get mushmouth just because I have a lot to say and I want to kind of say it in a very concise way because I don't want this video to be super duper long. By the way, hello, I'm Liz. Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you if this is your first time coming across my channel. Hello. So, this is kind of a follow-up to the video I just posted. I don't know when this video is going to come out, but the video that I posted talking about the infantilization of K-pop idols. And I wanted to do this kind of as a follow-up because I wanted to say this in that video, but I couldn't figure out what like I knew what point I wanted to make, but I wanted to say it right and I couldn't figure out how to say it, so I ended up just cutting out the video entirely. But I talked to one of my friends after the video and we were talking about the gfriend situation, and then we ended up talking about the Han situation as well, and then we ended up getting into a conversation that's just about like K-pop idols and cultural appropriation and just the whole shit. And he, being half Korean, he told me about how he feels a type of way when K-pop stans get so heavy into the like Koreans are dumb, they didn't know type of mindset. And he says, like, as somebody who's half Korean, it makes him feel a type of way, like it makes him uncomfortable. And I do understand that him being half Korean may not speak for the entirety of Korea. I do understand that, so just as a disclaimer, but it is something that makes sense and something that I've been thinking about for the longest time, because honestly, that's one thing that always made me feel weird. As much as I feel a type of way about like South Korea and like the inherent history of racism or everything like that, what we're not gonna do is pretend like all of Korea and every Korean person is just completely and totally stupid and just doesn't know anything outside of their own country. Do you know what I mean? And I always felt like when people said stuff like that, it was inherently racist. And I always was like, am I tripping when I say that? Because I've thought this for the longest time, honestly. And I was just like, I wasn't sure, because for some of y'all to go straight to that excuse whenever somebody does anything, and especially when it came to the gfriend situation, for those of you to instantly be like, she didn't know any better, as a 25-year-old woman who's gone to college, you realize it or not, some of y'all actually do a lot of racist shit. You know what I mean? Like a lot of stuff that's racist towards Asian people. And I think a lot of you don't realize it because you presume that, oh, I'm a K-pop stan, I can't be racist towards Asian. It's the infantilization of K-pop idols, feminization of male K-pop idols. It's a lot. Like, y'all really be reinforcing the same stereotypes that like Korean people and Asian people in general have been running away from for so long. And far be it for me to speak for Asian people. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But this is just kind of me, you know, running off the top of my head. Just to talk about the feminization of K-pop idols for a minute, I am totally 100, and please do not get me wrong, I have a problem with male idols doing things that are inherently non-masculine, quote unquote, because as somebody who is LGBT, who is non-binary as well, I totally fucks with that shit and I love it. But some of you guys, I kind of think go too far, and I think that y'all don't be meaning to like say it in like a negative way. Like, I'm sure y'all don't mean a negative connotation behind it, but when y'all call these male K-pop idols and you refer to them with like she, her pronouns, and you call them lesbians, and you do like, y'all, I think y'all forget that there's a history of Asian people being referred to as women. It's something that a lot of us, I think, have experienced. Like, I personally have experienced it for years and years. Of every time my dad would come in my room and he'd see like a poster of BTS on the wall or whoever, he'd be like, oh, is that girls? You know what I mean? It's like a thing that I hear all the time from my family. Every time they come into my room and they look at my fucking wall, it's like the first thing that they say is, oh, I thought that was a girl. Also, something else I wanted to talk about, I saw a TikTok a second ago, literally a second ago before I turned on this camera, had a tweet on it, and the tweet essentially said, non-POC K-pop stans use cultural appropriation as the mystery mouse tool. And I just wanted to talk about that right fast, because that's the one thing I fucking can't stand, especially about like the recent situations that have been happening. You say and do shit like that, you don't care about the people who are hurt by whatever happened. You don't care. You just care that you have your gotcha moment or your aha or your I told you so type of moment. Like, let people feel the way they should be allowed to feel, and especially if you're not black or non-POC in general, like if you're white and you're speaking about cultural appropriation when it comes to black people or Desi people or Native Americans or what have you, it's best that you keep your mouth shut and let them discuss it amongst themselves, because it's something that involves them and not really you. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure a lot of you want to support and you want to, like, you know, support your POC friends or whatever the fuck. But I think y'all get too excited and y'all start talking over people, and that's not what we gonna do. That's something I honestly wanted to talk about in the video where I talked about like my pet peeve with K-pop, because it was something that happened a lot during the initial conversation when Yoongi did the Jim Jones thingy in his mixtape. There was a lot of non-black K-pop stans who were going crazy, sending all types of death threats and like hate towards BTS in the name of black stans. And it was like, whoa, we did not ask you to do that. Nobody asked you to be the white savior and go tell somebody that they need to die. That's not what we was doing. That's not what we do in general. I just encourage you guys to, just off the same sentiment as the last video, I just encourage you guys to think a little bit before you say and do things. Does that make sense? I don't know. Hopefully I got everything out that I wanted to say. I feel like I might have missed the point, or I maybe misworded something, but because my head is so mushed right now, I can't really go back and re-explain it. Maybe I'll be able to re-explain it in like the editing process, but at the end of the day, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry I'm so loud. I have a headache. I need to do the dishes. I just remembered that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and go. Thank you guys for watching. Again, if this is your first time coming across my video, my channel or whatever, I'm sorry that this is like the first thing you see. I promise I'm not always this angry, but you gotta give me a break, man. The first week of February was a lot. So if you enjoyed this video, like it, I guess. If you want to see more content, then you should subscribe, I guess, if you want to. I have social medias if you want to follow those. They're in the description, also in the end card, also linked in the description are important links involving important things going on in the world. And there's also a link to my Discord if you would like to join the Discord. Come hang out, feel free. And with that, I'm gonna go. That was the quickest, that was like the most efficient outro I've ever done. Now if I could keep it like that, that would be fire. I have a headache. I have a headache and Blue Hour is stuck in my head.